Reading the comments at YouTube and in many other places, including the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and the Washington Post, Democrats know what they heard and saw during the debate and cannot unsee it and unhear it. Conclusions are drawn from witnessing what happened during this horror movie, scarier than any horror movie that I have ever seen because it was real and important. Biden is fine when reading from a teleprompter, as he did during the State of Union address. Someone who is actually suffering from dementia could not do that, of course. Without a teleprompter, Biden will have senior moments manifested by garbled sentences, problems with finishing a train of thought, periodic problems and retaining facts in a short-term memory, and importantly, a major issue in effectively rebutting in real time Trump's constant stream of demonstrably false and misleading statements. That was apparent in the debate. That is an objective reality that Democrats observe from watching one debate. Many Republicans say he's senile, which just indicates their lack of knowledge and ignorance about dementia. And it's part of a now standard name-calling technique used by them and their dear leader that simply states a conclusion or opinion as a fact rather than to actually engage in fact-based discussions. Fact-based discussions with Trump supporters is impossible and it's futile to even try. When not engaged in juvenile name-calling, statements made by Trump and his supporters illustrate a driven propensity to flood the zone with false and misleading information that indicates a pervasive state of brain pollution. I do know some college-educated Trump voters who recognize that Trump is crazy. I've had them actually use that word in describing him before they voted for him in 2016. Many have even referred to Trump as bat, S-H-I-T, crazy, which is a phrase used by Sean Hannity at one time. Trump voters, at least most of them, do not exist in an objective reality, or at least the vast majority of them based on what I have read and heard, and consequently view Trump as honest, a Christian Messiah sent by God to rule over us heathens, a role model for their children, and a person who actually cares about them. Those opinions are reached in spite of the overwhelming evidence spanning decades that contradict those opinions, but Republicans cannot see, read, or hear any of it. Reading their comments indicates a near total lack of accurate information, but an unchallengeable religious belief and demonstrably false reality creations and an unwillingness to acquire or even look at accurate information about Trump. Throughout his life, Trump has displayed all of the characteristics of a psychopath, including an inability to be truthful. His political rhetoric is not informative, just the opposite. It is demagogic. He floods America with false and misleading statements to such an extent that nothing he says can be believed by people living in an objective reality. Yet he is on the path to win re-election. It is impossible for me, and I have voted for Republicans in the past and will never vote for another Republican for the rest of my life. But it is impossible for me for now to take the people who support Trump seriously, since they do not live in an objective reality when it comes to politics, at least. Trump's party, and his party is not a conservative one in the American tradition, is his party now. I don't see any reason to distinguish Trump from the Republican Party. Almost all Republican Party politicians support Trump, enable and protect him, and can never be heard again to say that they were unaware of who and what he is. They have given their stamp of approval on his past statements and conduct. And that is where we are now.